and welcome to the Keyboard Road Warrior with me, Movie Scouse 007, where we play Euro Truck Simulator 2 with just a laptop and its keyboard. No steering wheel, no high-end performance desktop. So, let us head to Zurich. Actually, before we go anywhere, let me just show you what I did with my trucking empire. We upgraded the trucks in, I believe, Warsaw. I don't know whether that was... Oh no, it wasn't Warsaw, was it? Let's do it by garage. We did upgrade the trucks in Warsaw. No, it was a German city. It was, I believe... No, it was Warsaw. Beg pardon. There they are, the 750s. So our currently upgraded trucks are Warsaw, Prague, yes. Prague was between the last journey and this journey, it was Prague, my apologies. So Prague has now been updated with the big 750s, and they look beautiful as opposed to the 420s that look like that. So that's why my money's gone down to 15.7 million. Right then. Actually, let's really flicking around through the menus like I don't know what I'm doing. So let's set the GPS to the nearest shop, which should take us to Zurich. Oh God, I'm having a bit of a problem with my control of the menus and the computer. So let's get our butts to Zurich, and might be worth our while exploring Zurich before we hook the load up. It will reduce the chances of me munting my vehicle. Wow. Oh no, don't pause and then... That's just scummy. Right, we're through. That's really scummy to pause and then as soon as I move forward to block me off. That's trolling, that's the definition of trolling. Alrighty. Oh, we've 2 discoverables in Zurich. This is gonna be good. It's gonna be an extra recruitment agency, which means more drivers. Okay, well, I hadn't downloaded some footage, so before I've even started, I've run out. Right, so we're going to do... I think we're going to do this loop. And then this loop. So a figure 8 of 8. I think we'll do if we can get away with it, we'll do a figure of 8. So we'll go in here and then we'll go round here. And that gets us... no. Let's see, if we do that figure of 8, yes, that gets us all the roads and it gets us back to post speed. Oh, actually no, what the hell am I talking about? I've delivered. It gets us to the repair yard and so yes, we'll follow this route and then yes, and then that takes us there. So we're turning left. And then second left after the corner. So let's get that garage first. Yes, we want to buy that garage. We'll sort that garage out when we buy the trucks. Oh, sod it. I got fined, I might as well. So, we're going to take the next left. We can see that great big overhead highway that for some reason is not showing up anywhere on our map. And there's our recruitment agency. Boom. And that was lucky. We made it through without incident. Right, let's remind myself of our... So we're going to take a left and then a left and then follow the road around to the right. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. We got really lucky up to this point. So, which dealer is it in Zurich? Which dealer has a truck dealership in Zurich? DAF. Okay. I don't want to wait because I hate waiting, and waiting's for losers. Right, now we can follow the GPS to the repair yard. Yeah, see, for some reason that giant overhead highway is not listed anywhere on the map. Oh, I know, we've gone past it. Alright, in we go. Let's get our butts repaired and rested. Okay. See how expensive this was. So, we had a 14% total damage. So, engine 7% for £1,509, transmission 4% for £586. Chassis 14% for £2,810, cabin 11% for £5,573, and finally wheels 5% for £564. That's a total repair bill of £11,042. A mere bagatelle. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go upgrade that garage in Zurich. There it is. Let's upgrade Zurich. Okay, I will stick the drivers in in the standard models, and then I'll upgrade them later. Luxembourg, buy online. I'm going to do the stuff that would be more expensive if I didn't do it now, where I have to replace something. So the engine, the retarder, and the wheels. Actually, I should only have to do this the once, and then I should be able to buy it 5 times. So let's go through the process then. Yeah, let's just go through the process, and then I can buy it 5 times. Boom. not letting me have the number plate thing. That's interesting. So I don't know why that is. Where are we? No, not that one, that one. Let's chrome that bad boy up, and let's chrome that bad boy up, and then let's give us the Ranger. Okay, for some reason this is more expensive and I'm putting less on. But I am not getting money back, so 166,000, boom. With Zürich. And 2. I will have to go in and put the number plates on them, but I'll do that off camera. And then finally, okay, right then, let's go get some drivers. Recruitment agency, boom, hire a driver. So, looks like we're down to the single. Let's go from the back, because I'm guessing that's where the newer drivers are added. Yeah, we're not looking good here. Yep, alright. I think we can safely say there are no. So what we're going to do is we're going to hire drivers that have got the ADR. So William. I think William is one of the new images. See the ADR drivers. Dominic is going in Zurich. Felix. Arnold. And then finally Michael. And there we go. Right, Empire is growing. So, now that we're repaired and we've enlarged our empire, let's go get some sleep. Oh dear, 6 in the afternoon, that's no good. Right, okay. Let's get ourselves a job. Okay. I noticed while I was looking at that menu that my camera was not focused. So I paused the recording and I am now in focus, I hope. Just double check. Okay, I'm just gonna... I'm a bit paranoid now. Right, let's get our butts to Gothenburg. Okay. That was annoying. Yet again, I've lost footage. I was just editing together the journey to Glasgow, and I've had to put a little disclaimer on the blurred footage, so I'm going to have to do exactly the same with this. The vast majority of the beginning of all the exploration of Zurich, the purchasing of 5 trucks, the explanation of Prague as Praha as my new 750'd up garage. That's all blurred. And it's really annoying. At least the journey isn't. Ooh, actually, I think we can go that way. Oops. We haven't got that bit of road, and I want that bit of road, and I'm pretty sure we came in the other way. And I'm pretty certain, actually, just before we do, let's just double check that we can go left and up that road, and then take the... Yes, we can do this. We can get that little bit of Zurich's road. Excellent. We can do this. I don't like seeing a bit of grey road that I can... that I can discover, and I not discover it. So frustrating, extremely frustrating, and something that I really hope I won't have to deal with when I get the game capture device. Obviously, I'm going to have to pay an extra £20 for the game capture device now, which is infuriating. I could have bought it for £109 2 days ago. We've already had this discussion. I'm going to have to pay £129. I want to be able to pick it up. There we go. So, today we're going to talk... I think we're going to talk about the NHS, aren't we? That's what we were going to talk... Whoa. Whoa, I got away with that. Slow down. Oof. I am just reckless today. So we've discovered that little bit of road, that's good. I think this is the road we came into Zurich on. We came through this tunnel. And, so it was nice to discover a brand new city. I think we've only got 4 or 5 left. So there's that. And there, I think, is the road that we turned off to get to Zurich on. Right, so we're on our way. We're good. We're golden. Our journey will most likely be out of Switzerland through its northern border, and then from the bottom of Germany to the top, south to north, and then whoa, crikey, Nearly missed that exit. And then we will most likely go through Denmark, take a ferry to the Jutland, which is the bit of Denmark that is... Whoa! Oh, crap. How we got away with that? No. Possibly because I engaged the parking brake. That was close. We nearly munted our load again. We nearly munted it getting off the off-ramp, and then we nearly munted it crashing into that. This is not good. But you really shouldn't be going quite so slow. It was a junction. And I knew it was a junction. So. Right, so 22 hours to go. And there we go, we're leaving Switzerland, Swiss flag on the left, we're entering Germany, German flag on the right, and the European flag flying as well, because... Oh, hello. Oh, yes. This is a rest area we haven't discovered yet. Oh, look at that. Roadworks. Well, that's new. I've not seen roadworks. Well, we've seen roadworks there, but we've not seen them like that. That's interesting. Oh, what the hell? That was a lot louder than I thought that should be. I'm going to undertake this lorry and then get into his lane. There we go. Okay, calm down. Okay, so I'm in New Zealand, where they have a similar system to the UK when it comes to health service. And when you're in hospital, that's it. You don't pay for anything. The state covers it because you cover those costs out of your income. They have a slightly different system when it comes to their general practitioners, the GPs, the doctor that you go and visit for things like checkups, and when you've got symptoms that are not severe enough to warrant a visit to A&E, or the ER if you're American. A&E stands for Accident and Emergency. In the UK you don't pay for visits to the GP, but in New Zealand you pay a $40 fee, which is about £20, which is about $30 US. I have mixed feelings about this. Yes, it means that GPs only have to deal with genuinely ill people or people who are hypochondriacs, in which case they need medical help. It does mean that you can't stop people who are desperate enough for a GP a sick note, from attending, because it'll be worth for them to stump up the $20. But the thing that bothers me is that it's already difficult enough to persuade people who don't want to go to a doctor that they should go to a doctor. When you add a financial incentive to not visit, I think I'm not entirely happy about that. But that is what it is. It's the way they do things over here, and I haven't experienced either the hospital or the GP over here in New Zealand, but my wife has experienced the GP. She said it's a much more pleasant experience. In the UK, it's usually you're given a time, and that is not the time that you see the doctor. Usually you see the doctor maybe an hour or two after the time that you're scheduled to visit. Can't explain why. I cannot explain why it takes so long, why they bother with the time, when they can never ever meet that time. If it was a business where you were paying for it, then you would absolutely be justifiably furious. And see, this is one of the areas where when you pay for it, you make it more efficient lobby would win, because when you make people pay for a hospital visit, you significantly reduce the number of people that just turn up because they've got a headache, or you make people pay £20 for a visit to a GP, and they're not going to come to you with headaches and sore throats. They're going to go to Dr. Beecham's or Dr. Hall's, or or Dr. Oh crikey! It's not funny when you're reaching for a name that you can't remember, because then you killed the joke. Dr. Throaties. Oh, I don't know. I've lost it. Yes, when people have got minor ailments that are not worthy of a visit to the doctor, you're charging them $40 New Zealand or £20. They're more likely to go to a supermarket off-the-shelf remedies, or pharmacist drugstore if you're American, pharmacist remedies, which will be a fraction of the cost, maybe a third of the cost of that hospital visit. Not hospital visit, sorry, GP visit. Now, I have a very hard time with GPs in the UK. I find them to be almost universally awful. They're filled with people who should not be there. They're uncomfortable, stuffy. The people that are there are rude and obnoxious, not just to you, but also to the staff that work there, because they seem to think that being a little bit ill gives them a pass on being a human being. And so they behave in a kind of self-entitled, atrocious manner that seems to be the given in the 21st century. People seem to think that they're entitled to everything, that they should just be given everything instead of having to work for it. Now, I'm as lazy as the next person, but I do appreciate that you have to work for stuff. Now, while I would want things to be given to me as quickly as possible, while I would want healthcare provided to me, while I want to be cured as quickly as possible, I understand the pain doesn't go away straight away, that medicines aren't miracle cures, and that health professionals are there to help me. They're not there for me to abuse. But it does make the GP experience very unpleasant. People are very rude. And while I am furious when I have to wait 2 hours for an appointment, while I have to wait 2 hours to see a doctor for an appointment that was 2 hours previous, I understand that there are very few people that want to be GPs. There are not enough GPs to fill the vacancies that are glaringly all over the United Kingdom, and as such, when there is a GP, that GP is stressed and overworked, and his practice is understaffed. But here's the flip side. In the last let's say the last 9 years, I have moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in the last 9 years. And I have had to move GPs on most occasions. When I was in Reading, although I moved not very far away from where I was, although I moved a short distance, I was out of my existing GP's catchment area and a new GP's catchment area, and so I had to register with a new GP. Now, thankfully, I didn't have to go through the process that you have to go through now I don't know whether it's peculiar to the area of London that I moved to, or whether it's a UK-wide thing, but I had to go through a health check. I had to have blood pressure test, I had to have my weight taken, my age, my height. I'm not sure, they didn't take blood, but I did have to go through a bit of a minor MOT, as it were, or WOF for my Kiwi viewers. And I was dealt with in such an unpleasant manner by the doctor that I was staggered, rendered speechless. Had I not been rendered speechless, I think I would have given him a piece of my mind. Now, thankfully, the nurses were much better, much nicer, much more in tune with what is expected of a health professional. In that, if you're giving bad news, there are ways to give bad news, and there are ways to not give bad news. Now, I had a high. My blood pressure was a little bit high, and they made me come back again a couple of times in an attempt to get a more normal reading. Now, if you're going to get people to give a low blood pressure or an average blood pressure reading, you do not scare them, you do not shout at them, you do not yell at them for being too fat, and you do not make it sound like an or else when you're telling them that they have to lose weight or they have to get their blood pressure down. I went and visited 3 times to get a reasonable blood pressure reading before they would back off. I lost a stone in weight, which is quite a lot for me. We gave up drinking, except for once a week. You would be surprised how much weight you can lose if you give up drinking on a daily basis. Anyway, so yeah, my experience, and that's not the only bad experience I've had with GPs. The GP didn't seem to understand my issue with my pancreas and my gallbladder. In fairness, the GPs, the doctors I saw at this practice were all locums, but I've got a horrible feeling that all of the doctors at this practice are locums and they don't have any resident physicians. That's a little bit worrying. You cannot build a rapport with patients if you're never going to see them again. That's not building a rapport, that's just whacking on a band-aid, a plaster. So yes, my experience with GPs in the UK is almost universally poor. In fact, when I was living in one town, when I was at one GP's, I had to request, I think it was when I was in Bristol, I had to request not to ever see a particular GP again because he was so deeply unpleasant and dismissive that I decided I would rather not see him. I would rather see any other doctor. No names, no pack drill. Conversely, my hospital experience has almost always been universally excellent. The health professionals in hospitals are at the top of their game. The nurses are awesome. The doctors, for the most part, know what they're doing. And the only bit of surgery I've ever had was conducted with speed and efficiency, and my body recovered, and I'm all good. For over the course of 2 years, I had a bit of an issue, a large issue with acid reflux. Initially, all I had were the symptoms and not the issue. Now, what it started as was pancreatitis. Their pancreas just stopped working, it shut down. They suspected a gallstone had fired its way through my pancreas and shut my pancreas down temporarily. When your pancreas shuts down, it stops producing the fluids that your body uses to digest food. Your pancreas pumps this fluid into your stomach then uses these fluids to break down the food, and then what's left gets pushed into the gallbladder. The gallbladder is a storage area for excess bile. Bile is used to break fats down. and my gallbladder was producing gallstones. Now, in 2010, they didn't know this because there were no gallstones to see. They had ultrasounds, and I had scans, and nothing was showing up gallstones, although there was the scarring that was evidence that gallstones had been there. And then I would periodically get this acid reflux, and I would have these tablets to take that would sort of help with it. And then I got a really bad attack in the end of 2012, so severe that I was being prescribed quite strong painkillers. And I had a couple of A&E visits, emergency room for my American viewers. I had a couple of A&E visits with this acid reflux where it was so painful that I couldn't stay in one place for more than a second. I was constantly up and about and moving, and they had to pump morphine in me to help me out. They gave me some quite strong painkillers to deal with that. And I was given quite powerful drugs to help with the pain in my kind of Gaviscon style, Pepto-Bismol style drugs, but in tablet form, to help me deal with the pain of the acid reflux, as the stomach acid would shoot up the pipe between my throat and my stomach. The beginning of 2013, they finally found the gallstones, and so once they had evidence that it was gallstones, they could make me take fluids to soften the gallstones, or I could take the opposite option of having the gallbladder removed. Now, softening the gallstones is no guarantee that further gallstones wouldn't make themselves present, and the doctor and I felt that it would be best if we just got rid of the gallbladder, because I was monumentally fed up of the blooming acid reflux and the gallstones. So that's what happened. So I had 3 hospital visits, and then my 4th was for the removal of the gallbladder. That was done in day surgery. I went in at 7 o'clock to have my gallstone. I went in 7 o'clock with my wife. Wife left me at 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock I went in to... Sorry, no. Wife left me at 9 o'clock. She waved goodbye as I went through the double doors to get into the backless hospital gown. At 10 o'clock I was signing some forms. 11 o'clock the doctor was asking me about my dull day job, asking me to describe in detail what it is I did for a living. And halfway through telling him what I was doing, I woke up in recovery minus a gallbladder. It's very clever. They get you to talk about a very complicated, lengthy subject, and when you cannot talk about it for a minute longer, they know you're under. So, yes, I lay in recovery from about 12 until about 3 in the afternoon. Was it 1 o'clock till 3 in the afternoon? I forget now. It was a few hours. Then they made me move to a chair. And after that, at 5:30, my wife came and picked me up, drove me home. Thankfully, we only lived around the corner, so it was a very short drive. But I was in a large amount of pain, because essentially what they'd done is they'd cut a hole just below my belly, just in the crevice of my belly button. They then carved 3 tiny holes around the shape of my rib cage from the centre of my abdomen in an arc to the side of my stomach. 3 tiny little incisions, less than a centimetre each. The 3 incisions were one for a light, so that the doctor could see what they were doing, one for a camera, so equally they could see what they were doing, one for air. They pumped my stomach full of air to inflate my stomach away from my organs, so that they could get the tool to remove the surgical tools to remove my gallbladder in through the 2.5 centimetre long incision in my belly button, where they pulled they put the instruments in, cut my belly button, cut my gallbladder off, sewed the pipe to my stomach and my pancreas. All actually, which had to be, because your liver sits on top of your gallbladder, so they had to lift my liver out of the way. And then pull the gallbladder out through my belly button. I did ask if I could keep my gallbladder, but they said no, which I think was a bit outrageous, because it's my gallbladder. I can do what the hell, I should be allowed to keep it, but I wasn't. Anyway, so that was in March of 2013. It had to be done in March of 2013 because in May of 2013 I was flying first to San Francisco and then to... let me check. I've still got 3 hours, that's good. I had to first to San Francisco, then from San Francisco to Auckland, then from Auckland to Christchurch. I was going to be on 3 different aircraft, and I needed to be able to fly, and they recommend a certain amount of time between surgery and flight. So the NHS moved my operation forward from... I was going to have to wait 2 months, which is going to be after the flight we'd paid for. They moved it to within a week and a half. They shifted some things around, some people around, so that I could... So, I mean, this is the NHS that I know and love. This is the NHS that I don't think the Americans quite understand is possible. I listen to Americans talking about health services as if it was a privilege rather than the right. An excellent health service is something that we pay for. Americans pay for their health service. They get a crappy one. They pay more than I do, but they don't get a fraction of what I get because it's not efficient. Because in America they decided that the state should be able to control its own health service rather than allowing the federal government to purchase drugs and purchase equipment at a national level, and thereby get such an incredible discount. No, states have to be allowed, because apparently being a state is more important than being a country. Screw that. Being a planet's more important. Being a species is more important than being a state. But my hospital experience was excellent, with the exception of not being allowed to keep my gallbladder. As uncomfortable and as painful as my 3 hospital stays were, I was never treated with anything but respect. When I asked a question, it was answered, even if they didn't want to give the answer. And what I'm talking about there is when they didn't 100% know exactly what it was that was wrong. But that said, my hospital experiences were always positive, even if they weren't comfortable. And when the food wasn't the best, but it's hospital food. Their primary role is to make you healthy. Mind you, that said, some of the food, I'm not sure some of the food there was as healthy as it could have been. That said, I was always treated with respect, and their job to get me out of the hospital as healthy as possible was almost always accomplished, if not straight away, eventually. As I said, they're not miracle workers, they're doctors and nurses, and But anyway, I have had nothing but a positive experience in my 4 hospital stays in the UK. I have thankfully not been subjected to a hospital stay anywhere else. And I do say subjected because even the most comfortable of hospitals, even the most well-run of hospitals, is a hospital, it's not home. So it's not where you should be, but it is where you end up. So, the only other hospital system that I know anything about is the American one, and that's only because it features in so many films and television programs that it's almost impossible. Actually, let's just double check the map to see where our rest stops are and see whether I should grab this rest stop or not. Yeah, I think we need to grab this rest stop because we are quite some distance from another one. I don't know though. 2 hours. Can we make it? No, I don't think we can. Right. Engine off, get some fuel in at 116 while we still can. £607 for 519 litres. Wow, we needed that fuel. Ooh, what am I doing? Right, let's get some rest. Engine off. Let's rest. Right then, engine on. We are in the daylight, so let's get rid of the high beam. Good, there's nothing coming. So, we still have 11 hours, 44 minutes. We've got 28 hours, 14 minutes, and just under 11 hours before we have to rest. But my hope is that we will grab a couple of hours of rest on the boat, and that should make the difference before we get to Göteborg. So let's rock and roll. Now I am in 15 minutes real time. I'm going to have to pause this video and upload the footage because I'm about to run out. Well, in 15 minutes I will run out of. I'll run up against the maximum time length, the 50-minute time limit for footage on the iPhone. Oh, I can't wait to not have to worry about that when I get my game capture device. That will be wonderful. But until that moment, we're just going to have to live with this. Now, this is journey number 98. So I've got this journey and one more. And then I'm going to stop playing this game until I'm back in the UK. Because I want the Journey 100 to be the sort of return to the UK spectacular, with the better quality image, the no busting out in the middle of the journey. I want that to be the sort of the triumphant return to Euro Truck Simulator. So that's going to mean I'm going to have a 4-week gap, possibly 5-week gap, until I'm in my new flat with my wife and we've got our internet hooked up, because sadly this bleeding game will not play without the internet, even though... So one of the reasons why I wish I'd bought the disc instead of the bloody Steam download is because for some unknown bloody reason this game insists that you're connected to the internet before you can play. Xbox users that whined and bitched, please take note. Steam quite often requires you to be connected to the internet to play a game. I'm sure that if I switched off my box right now, the game would stop. My wireless router, the game would stop working. I'm pretty sure of that. So it's 1 PM, I believe, almost in game. It's not 1 p.m. Here, but it is 1 p.m. in the game. Okay. Well, I did, thankfully, notice that exit just in time. And I noticed that I had to be on this side as well to take that. I remember this from my last journey up through Germany to Scandinavia. I think that was the Kalmar journey. We went through Germany and we used this particular route. So this is not the first time we've used this road. It's going to be very interesting when I go for the 100% of road discovery to see how I have to juggle this game in order to get those roads. But my guess is that what I will do is that I will quick travel from garage to garage. This is one of the reasons why I'm buying all these garages now. I have the money, there's no reason not to, and it does enable me to more precisely journey to be able to pick specific roads, because I can go to a specific town by quick travelling to one garage or another. Whoa, 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 whoa. So yes, the American hospital system doesn't seem quite as well organised. They seem to overprescribe drugs. They seem to overprescribe tests. It costs a lot of money. In the UK, they won't run a test unless they think that test can reveal something. Where in the US, they will reveal that test so that no one can claim they didn't run all the tests they possibly could. Now, there is an argument that the American health system is expensive because it's more litigious. There are a couple of examples. There's a couple of reasons why that's complete nonsense. Yes, they run more tests so that people can't claim, but in a number of states they have what's called tort reform, which is a law that prevents people suing hospitals from suing over a certain amount of money. So you can't get millions and millions. This is to prevent hospitals from going out of business because of one bad physician. It prevents a hospital that the community needs from ceasing to exist because one greedy person has sued a hospital and bankrupted it. And in those areas where they have tort reform, the healthcare costs haven't come down any. It's a small amount. It's 0.5% or 5%. I can't remember. There's an excellent video on YouTube by John Green. If you look for the Vlog Brothers and then look for his video on healthcare, it explains wonderfully why he believes the healthcare system in the US is more expensive. And it's not one thing, but there's a whole bunch of things. Yes, it's expensive to protect doctors against malpractice suits, but not as expensive as you'd think. Yes, drugs are more expensive, and that's because and this is the main reason he believes this is the problem, and I mentioned it a minute ago, the individual hospitals organise their own drugs, but they're small businesses. They're not attached to any kind of healthcare scheme. Now my guess is that it would be better if the local state ran all of the hospitals as a collective, so that they come under one umbrella, so that the standards can be monitored at a state level as well as a local level. Then the health care system can then be monitored at a national level, and at a national level they can make purchases of drugs. And easy, wow, whoa. Right, you don't do that. You don't pull in front of someone and then pull the brakes on. That is dangerous. Now, I know this is an AI rather than a person, but it still doesn't stop me being furious. That was disgraceful driving. Oh, there goes a man. And by a man, I mean a man truck, an MAN truck. Not a man human being. There are no human beings in this game, it would seem. I think we are approaching Rostock and the... are we going by bridge, actually? Let's just check. No. We're taking the bridge to this island and then the ferry from Bergerfermen. Not Rostock, Bergerfermen. I do hope that they fix that. I was hoping that they would fix that Bergerfermen issue with 1.6 and then 1.61 and then 1.62, but they just don't seem to be. Either they can't fix it or they can't be bothered fixing it. I hope it's neither. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ugh, you saw me, you idiot. You saw me passing you. Oh, fuck. Crying out loud. They just turn into you. They just turn into you. They need to be aware. Oh, that's pissed me off now because I've lost my 0%. So no chance of a flipping excellent now. Thanks to that muppet. I mean, I shouldn't have overtaken him, but still. When you see someone, you stop. You don't just continue driving into them. That is an AI issue that needs to be resolved. Alright. I am going to pause when I reach the other side of this ferry journey. Right. 45 minutes, £232. Okay, embark. Okay, I am going to download the footage and then I'll be back in a moment. So we're rested. Sorry, we've moved the footage. Alright, and we are on to Jutland. I believe that's what this island part of Denmark is called. Jutland, I believe. And then we will cross the large bridge between Denmark and Sweden and head towards Gothenburg, where we will buy our Volvo garage for Volvo because, because Volvo. One other side benefit I've noticed recently while editing these things together is that sometimes the volume isn't the same from clip to clip. That's going to be one thing that will be consistent when it comes to this playthrough when I'm using a game capture device, is that the volume will be the same. There'll be no more of this wavering around. Okay, that was interesting. He overtakes me, hits a corner, and then slows down. Not quite sure what that's all about. So we are 6 hours from our destination, which is relatively near. I'm not quite sure how long that is in real terms, but we have 24 hours in which to do it, 8.5 hours before we have to rest, which means that we don't have to worry about anything. We've got plenty of fuel, we're rested, we've got plenty of time to make the delivery. We're golden. Which means that we'll have time to pootle around Gothenburg, we'll have time to upgrade the garage. I will fill it off camera, because obviously I'm going to be messing around with upgrades, and you've seen the upgrades. Well, actually no, it's not that long. What is it? Because I just fart around with one of them and then I just repeat the process 5 times. Well, maybe we'll do it on camera. We'll see. We'll see how I feel when we. I would like as much of this to be on camera as possible, but obviously I'm painfully aware that these videos are very long, and the longest anyone so far has watched one has been 25 minutes. So I don't want these things to be too long. In fact, I can't make them too long on this computer because after a certain amount of processing time it stops working. One of my videos, I think it was journey number 86, had to be divided into 2 because it was close to 3 hours. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes for the journey, and my laptop just after about 2 hours it stops. It just runs out of well, I think it just stops. It doesn't want to do it anymore. And I don't know whether that's a limitation of the laptop or whether it's a limitation of the software, Movie Maker, but this is the lowest of low-tech playthroughs. I mean, you can't get more low-tech than this. I'm using... I know I've said this before, but I'm using a laptop that really shouldn't be able to play this game. I'm using a keyboard instead of a steering wheel. I'm using a 16 gig iPhone 4 to film the screen, and I'm using Movie Maker to edit it all together. So I mean, you couldn't get more lo-fi than this. So that's what's going on. Okay. This is beautiful. It's such a, given how low quality, how low powered this laptop is, and given how little of the actual beauty of the game I'm seeing, it's still an amazing game. It still astonishes me that I can run this. And I just can't wait to see what this looks like on a more capable computer. I really can't wait. I'm also excited about driving in this game with a steering wheel, but that is for a different playthrough. So, but yes, I am excited nonetheless. So, we are approaching. Well, we're about to hit the bridge because we just passed Copenhagen. So we're about to drive over that beautiful bridge, which I keep talking about. I really like that bridge. I think it's amazing. It's so much longer and more impressive in real life than it is in this game even. Here it is, just round the corner. Sorry. And I don't know that you get the real sense of how beautiful this is. I encourage you to look at this bridge. Actually, it is the subject of a TV series, police procedural, based between Denmark and Sweden. A TV series called The Bridge, about a murder that happens on the bridge, and so the jurisdiction is split between the two nations for the murder. So you do get to see some of this bridge. It's actually quite amusing. As a result of the success of VOLVO, there's been actually probably more to do with the success of the girl with the dragon tattoo, the girl who played with fire, and oh god, what was the other one? It was the third book. I think it's probably more to do with those books and the three Swedish films based on those books. It's £151. It's my usual for entering Scandinavia. Well, no, sorry, for entering Sweden. I entered Scandinavia in Copenhagen. It's the fee for the bridge, essentially. But yes, as a result of the girl with the dragon tattoo, Scandinavian police procedurals have become quite popular in the UK and the US. Although it has to be said that the American version of the girl with the dragon tattoo kind of bombed a little. Didn't make nearly as much money as they were hoping it would. Particularly given that they had the current James Bond, Daniel Craig. But such is life. Ugh. What is all of this lovely undiscovered road that I can see before me that I'm not driving on? Why am I not driving on it? Where do I have to be going to discover these beautiful undiscovered roads? Quick football update. I'm recording this the day after I recorded the last bit. Real life. Oh God, there again. I think it's ProMods. I think there's something wrong with the junctions in this Scandinavian map. But hey. But anyway, real life interrupted my gaming life, and so I'm having to record this the day after. And sadly for Liverpool Football Club, Manchester City thumped Aston Villa 4-0 to go 2 points clear of Liverpool at the top of the table. So, unless Manchester City lose to West Ham and Liverpool beat Newcastle, Manchester City are champions-elect. It's the second time in 6 years that Liverpool have been this close. It's the second time we've finished runners-up. It's not over. Mathematically, it's not over yet. We can still beat West Ham. And if Manchester City lose to... Sorry, if we still beat Newcastle, Manchester City get beaten by West Ham, which, given the way they're performing, is looking increasingly unlikely, it's still mathematically possible. If Manchester City don't get another point, i.e. they don't win their next game, and Liverpool do, they get 3 points, which puts them a point clear of Manchester City, then we will take the title. It's just, I want to hope, but hope is a cruel, cruel emotion, because hope relies not on reality. Hope almost never relies on reality. Hope almost relies on a set of circumstances which is so improbable as to be almost religious in their unlikeliness. Stranger things have happened. Sunderland beat Manchester City. West Ham have beaten some big clubs. So it's not 100% unlikely. But it's not 100% unlikely, but it is mostly unlikely. That's totally unnecessary. It is unlikely. It's not impossible, but it is unlikely. But I think the most important thing for me to take out of this is that Liverpool's stated aim for this season was to get into the Champions League. We wanted to get at least fourth, so that we could at least pre-qualify. We could at least have a go at pre-qualifying for the Champions League. We're guaranteed at least third. I think we're probably guaranteed at least second. Which means that we are guaranteed to get into the group stages, which means we're guaranteed at least 6 European Cup games, Champions League games, which means money, which definitely means we're in a better position to attract better players. Now, it's a measure of how far that Liverpool have come that Luis Suarez was in tears after we drew with Crystal Palace, because it in all likelihood it meant we couldn't win the league. I think had we not got ourselves into the position where since Christmas we have mostly led the table, I don't think we would have been upset about finishing second. I think that would have been a source of tremendous pride, and it still should be. It's just that we've come so far and come so close on such a small budget with such a an interesting gathering of players, and given that we were not able to bring we were only able to bring in one player in the last 12 months, and that was Simon Mignolet, the goalkeeper. We haven't brought another player in, so it's the same players that finished, aside from Reina, it's the same group of players that finished 7th in the league the previous season. So my one big concern is that because we're now in the Champions League, we'll buy a whole bunch of new players, and we will not be as settled and as familiar. The players won't be as familiar with each other as the current crop are. That said, our defence is awful. Our defence is truly awful. If we had not conceded as many goals as we have, I wouldn't be having this conversation now, and we would have won the league weeks ago. Our defence is what has kept us from winning the league, not our strike force. But anyway, then enough about football. I keep going on about it. I mean, it's going to be the feature of these playthroughs. I'm a massive Liverpool fan, and so I'm going to be talking about them. You'll be relieved to know that there's going to be a gap of a few months while we have the mid-season break, but sadly for those that don't like football, the World Cup is coming up soon, and so I'm going to want to be talking about the World Cup. And I'm English, I'm British, I'm a European, but I'm English, and I'm going to be supporting England, and I'm going to be wanting England to do well, and so I'm going to be talking about the England games. Now, given that I'm probably going to be catching up with my backlog in the course of my month of not recording these. It's essentially 4 weeks, so that's 12 videos. I am going to be ahead. I'm about 20 of these journeys ahead of my broadcast schedule. So, for instance, I put video number 63 up yesterday. Today I'm recording the second half of video number 98. So 63 to 98. In fact, I'm more than 20. I'm more than 30. So I'm well ahead of my broadcast schedule, and I'm going to keep up that relentless pace. So by the time I start talking about the World Cup will probably be over in the real world. But I am going to keep up this relentless pace of recording, I think, because I'm trying to fulfill this. I think if I gave up the pace, if I stopped recording as many as I have, that I will lose interest in the series, and I don't want to lose interest in the series because this is the series that started my YouTube channel. We'll see. I'm hoping that the setup that we have in our new place will be more conducive to me doing these in the evenings, because I've got more spare time in the evenings to do these than I have during the day. So, but we'll see. But one thing is for sure, it'll take me less time to record these when I'm in the UK, because I will be using the game capture device. Currently, because I have to stop every 50 minutes, I lose about half an hour per journey uploading footage, sometimes 45 minutes, depending on whether it's a two-part or three-part. It's because it's 15 minutes for to download each segment. So, you know, losing that amount of time, that's a colossal amount of time to not be recording. And also I lose touch with what I'm talking about, because I stop talking for 45 minutes and I concentrate. I do other stuff while I try to use the time usefully. So I'm doing other stuff while I'm uploading the footage. But I forget what I was talking about. I lose momentum about our conversation. So. Alright, here we are, we're in Gothenburg. And that snuck up on me. So let's check the map out and see what is what. So, ooh, hello. Oh, I wish that would centre on where you are when you zoom in, I really do. So, I am going to do this loop, and that's it. Gothenburg's quite small. I suppose what I could do is I could do this big loop, come around, exit here, and then do a loop like that. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'm going to fire on through and I'm going to do a big loop. Yeah, I know, £280. It's a shame. So there is, obviously we've already been to Gothenburg, so we've got all the discoverables. Please don't drive into me, anybody. Good. So I've got all the discoverables, so there's no more, there's no recruitment agency, there's no dealership for me to find. I've got them all. But, let's see. Right, yep, no, we are good. We can turn right. That's excellent. Alright. Can I turn left, though? That's the important question. Yes, I can. Oh, sod it. Oh no, I was going to say sod it. I've got the fine anyway, but I don't want to be driving through traffic. I don't want to munt my lorry any more than it is already munted. I think we're good to go now, because I think, yep, there we go. Right, oh, hello. I don't know what that was all about. Okay. Look at this. We're discovering more road. So another thing I'm hoping is that the new ProMods update will arrive between video 99, journey 99, which is going to be my next journey, and my last using, hopefully my last using this iPhone. And also this is going to be my journey 99 will be my last in Christchurch. Journey 100 will be in London, in the UK. I'm hoping that ProMods release their new map. That will mean that I start video 100 at my home base of Liverpool, which I quite like the idea of. I think they will. I think it looks like they're close enough. I don't think they will be in time for video 99, but I wouldn't update it until video 100 anyway, so... Right, let's just check out the map. So... Ah, yes. No, we can follow the red line. We can follow the directions. That's cool. We went from 1 minute to 25 minutes. We've still got 19 hours to deliver. We've still got 3 hours before we've got to drop the load off. We are going to pick up the garage. We are going to discover the roads within Gothenburg, so we will have 100% discovered Gothenburg. That is the plan. Right, let's take this. Excellent. And we're heading, slow down a little, we're heading back into Gothenburg, but it's getting to be night time, so let's whack those on. Right, now that we're back in Gothenburg, let's double check this map. So where are we going to go? That's our location. That, I think we'll go that way and then round in a circle, because we'll be on the right side of the road to drop into the garage, which means I won't have to reverse across a lane of traffic in order to reconnect to my trailer. So we'll wait for the traffic lights just this once, because I fancy having a cup of coffee, having a sip of my coffee. That is going to be one thing I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to get myself a thermos of some description that I can drink from if I'm doing these longer journeys. If I'm doing a 3-hour journey, I'm going to want the coffee to be roughly the same temperature towards the end of the journey as it was at the beginning. Right, here we are. Here's our garage. So let's pull up. Let's unhook and let's get our butts into Gothenburg's garage. Let's enter that. Yes, we want to spend 144,000 on this. Bye-bye to 16 million. Let's reverse back into our trailer. And we're about to get honked, I believe, because we're holding up traffic. Right. There we are, you heard the honk. Right, let's go to the garage, let's upgrade it. Where's Gothenburg? There's Göteborg. And we'll upgrade it. Yes, we want to upgrade it. Right then. I'm going to do this. I am going to go and get my truck dealer to send me 5 Volvos, but I only need to set up 1. The rest should be fine. So let's customize this bad boy. Boom. Let's stick the 750 on. Let's stick the retarder engine on. Let's make it black. Let's put the toys on. let's give him the long reach mirror. Oh, of course, yeah, I forgot we can't put the bleeding... For some reason, we're not allowed to put the number plate on from this page. So we're going to have to find Zürich and upgrade them as well. But I will do that off camera because you don't need to see that. And you know what I like. I like to be chromed up. In fact, I'm thinking I might chrome my own vehicle, because I haven't got any chrome on Veronique. For those of you that didn't hear me many videos ago, yes, it's not quite the right value because it's missing the couple of £100 for the two mirrors, but it would be 166,111, I think, was it? Yes. But anyway, that is us fully upgraded. So let's confirm that. Let's purchase it and let's put it in Göteborg. Boom. Okay. And purchase and Göteborg. Okay, and purchase. Oh, this could get tedious. And then finally, alright, we've done that. Let's recruit some drivers. So, let's hire some drivers. I think we're probably scraping the bottom of the barrel. So we're going to stick to trying to get the drivers with ADR. If we've not got ADR, we'll go for long distance. I think we're out of luck. Alright, let's go long distance. Okay. And then when we run out of long distance, we'll go high value. I'm liking these new pictures that I've got. I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of the drivers that I'm hiring at the moment are using the new images, which are excellent. I really like the new images. Yeah, a lot of these drivers that I'm putting in are using the new images, which is excellent. I think that was it, wasn't it? Was that it? I wasn't paying attention, damn it. Let's look at my garage. Where's Göteborg? Yep, 5 drivers. Yep, cool, we're good. So we're just under 15. We spend about £1 million on that. Right, let's do our big loop. Actually, get my coffee out of the way because now that I have fulfilled my desire to put garage in, we'll do our big loop. We'll get ourselves oh god, oh thank goodness, I thought for a second, one horrifying second, we might be putting that. I saw the depot that we just passed for Trammell, and it's the hateful oh no, damn it, I want to go that way. It's the hateful Georgian archway that I sometimes struggle to get through, but that's not the depot that we're going to, thankfully. Oh no no no! Oof, that was close. Right, there's where we get our truck fixed, which we will need to, because I think we're at about 3%. And we are nearly good to park, which is obviously my favourite part of the journey, because it's the part I'm best at. Okay, right, here we go. Let's divest ourselves of this load. Right. I'm going to straighten myself out because I don't think I'm coming at this at the right angle. So. Right, let's see if we can't get this in this go. I don't know that we can because we're coming in at a funny angle. Because whoa, excellent, marvellous. Right, so this is probably going to be a good work. So parking brake on, engine off, and let's see what we got. We got a good work. So, driven distance 1,442 kilometres, 27 hours and 16 minutes. Travel time, fuel consumed 462.5 litres. We got a base reward of £24,678 and 1,442 XP. We got a proficiency bonus for level 37 of 13,696. A long distance delivery bonus for skill rank 6 of £3,594 and 360 XP, and a high value cargo bonus for skill rank 6 of £7,190 and 259 XP. Bonus for parking the trailer of 45 XP, which helped because we did 2% of damage to the load, which cost us £183, and more importantly, it cost us 18 XP. Although that really hurt us. I mean, the parking bonus mitigated that. So that gave us a total of £48,974 and 2,088 XP. So the 18 XP was largely, fluff. We are still a level 37 elite. We took a chunk out of it. We're not quite. We're more than a third. We're not quite half of the way through towards level 38. This profile has a lifetime experience of 150,230 XP, and we're still aiming at 154,100. But thank you for joining us from Zürich to Göteborg. If you like this video, please mash that thumbs up and make it blue. If you want to see more of these, please click that subscribe button. If you have friends who you think might be interested in these videos, let them know so that they can like and subscribe to these videos. And thank you very much for watching this video. And until I see you in the next one, I'll see you on the road.